The film begins by introducing two siblings named Darry and Trish. They are planning to go on a spring break vacation. As they drive through the Florida countryside, a rusty old truck suddenly starts following them from behind. After a few tense minutes of being followed, the truck finally speeds past their car. Trish and Darry feel relieved once the mysterious vehicle overtakes them and disappears ahead. However, just a few minutes later, they spot the same old truck again. This time, it's parked beside an abandoned church. They witness a man dumping what appears to be a blood-stained, body-wrapped bundle into a large pipe. Accidentally, the man notices Trish and Darry's car passing by. Realizing he's been seen, the man gets back into his truck and starts chasing them. He drives aggressively, trying to ram and sideswipe the vehicle that Darry is driving. The crash leaves Darry's car slightly damaged, but still running. Curious about what the man had thrown into the pipe, they decide to go back to the abandoned church. Once there, they approach the large pipe they saw earlier, an old rusty tunnel leading underground. It's too dark to see inside, so they grab a flashlight from the car. Darry decides to take a closer look and slowly climbs into the pipe, while Trish holds onto his legs to keep him steady. Suddenly, a rat scurries past, startling him and causing Darry to lose his grip and fall down into the hole. Down below, Darry discovers one of the bodies that had been dumped by the mysterious man. As he gets closer, he realizes the person is still alive. What's more horrifying, the man's body appears to have been sewn up, as if some of his internal organs had been removed. The man tries to speak, but dies shortly after. Shocked, Darry yells up to Trish, telling her to go find help, while he stays behind to explore further. As he moves deeper into the underground space, he's stunned to find dozens, maybe even hundreds, of preserved bodies stuck to the walls and ceiling. The sight leaves him frozen in shock. Meanwhile, above ground, Trish waits near the road hoping to flag someone down for help. From a distance, she sees a car approaching. Fearing it might be the same man from before, she quickly jumps back into their car and locks the doors. But it turns out to be someone else entirely. Just then, Darry suddenly appears, startling Trish. She immediately asks him what he saw down there, but Darry is so shaken he can't say a word. Instead, the two of them decide to drive to a nearby diner, both to refuel and report the murder. At the diner, Darry finally manages to tell Trish what he saw: hundreds of bodies hidden beneath the church, carefully preserved and arranged in horrifying detail. At that moment, they receive a phone call from a mysterious woman who warns them that they are in serious danger. Strangely, this unknown caller knows both Darry and Trish's full names. Even more unsettling, she knows that Darry went into the pipe and discovered the bodies. Curious and unsettled, Darry asks who she is, but the woman quickly responds with a chilling warning. They need to be careful of the demon. She tells them that it has a habit of playing a song called Jeepers Creepers, and that if they ever hear it, they must get away immediately. Confused and overwhelmed, Darry hangs up the phone, unsure whether to believe her. Wasting no time, the two of them urge one of the diner staff to call the police right away. Soon after, the police arrive, and Darry and Trish immediately tell them everything about the bodies hidden beneath the church and the mysterious man driving the rusty truck. At first, the officers don't believe their story, thinking it's too strange to be true. But then, one of the diner staff interrupts and says that someone was seen entering Darry's car and smelling the clothes they had brought. Disturbed by this strange behavior, the police finally agree to investigate and head out with Darry to the old church. While they're on their way, a sudden radio call comes in. The church is on fire. The blaze is massive, and by the time they get there, all the evidence, including the bodies, has been destroyed. No one knows who started the fire, and there are no clues left behind. Before they can react, the group is ambushed. The mysterious figure suddenly appears and kills the police officers, then loads their bodies into the back of the same rusty truck. Moments later, Darry and Trish hear a familiar, haunting song playing, Jeepers Creepers. Terrified and overwhelmed, Darry and Trish decide to get as far away as possible. While driving, they spot a nearby house and, desperate for help, they stop, hoping to find a phone to contact the local police. An elderly woman answers the door, She lives alone, surrounded by dozens of cats. As they explain their situation, the woman suddenly grows tense. She senses that someone else is outside, lurking in her yard. Not just Darry and Trish, but something else. Realizing the danger, the old woman grabs a shotgun and fires at the figure in the dark. But the creature moves incredibly fast, dodging her shot with ease. She tries to fight back, but sadly, she is killed by the mysterious being before she has a chance to escape. When the creature finally reveals its face, Darry and Trish realize it's not human, but a terrifying monster that lives to kill. Knowing the area is no longer safe, they decide to flee immediately. But just as they try to escape, the monster blocks the road ahead. Without hesitation, they slam the car into it, hitting the creature multiple times in a desperate attempt to stop it. The crash seriously injures the monster, with one of its legs completely severed. Despite their terror, Darry and Trish can't bring themselves to finish it off. Out of instinct and compassion, they decide to leave the creature behind and drive straight to the nearest police station. Not long after arriving, they are suddenly approached by a mysterious woman named Jezelle. She explains that she's a psychic who often has vivid dreams about real events, usually terrible things that are about to happen. She then reveals something shocking. She was the one who called them back at the diner, warning them of the danger they were in. Jezelle begins to tell them the truth about the creature that's been chasing them. It's not human. It's an ancient being known as the Creeper. According to her, the Creeper awakens every 23rd spring for 23 days to hunt and feed on humans. But what makes it even more terrifying is how it survives. Whatever body part it eats from a victim, it uses to regenerate its own. For example, if it eats a human's leg, its own leg will grow back almost instantly. If it eats a heart, it can extend its life even longer, twice over. This applies to all human organs. She adds that the Creeper doesn't just hunt at random. It chooses its victims based on their fear. It can literally smell fear, and through that, it finds the body parts it wants most. Right now, it has sensed something it desires in either Darry or Trish, but none of them know which one. Without them realizing, the wounded monster has already arrived at the police station, having followed the scent of their bodies. After cutting the power, the creature slips inside and breaks into the holding cells, feeding on the prisoners to heal itself. The police try to stop it, opening fire, but their efforts are useless. The monster is too strong, and several officers are killed in the chaos.
Gone! Gone? What the hell are you talking about? Gone!
Trapped inside the station, Jezelle warns them that one of them is going to die in a horrible way, and that someone will be heard screaming in the dark. She turns to Trish, silently implying that Trish will be the one screaming. Moments later, the monster finds them: Trish, Darry, and Jezelle. However, it shows no interest in Jezelle and leaves her unharmed. Instead, it corners Trish and Darry in an upstairs interrogation room. After sniffing and tasting both of them, the monster tosses Trish aside and chooses Darry. Trish, desperate, offers herself in exchange, begging the creature to take her instead. But the monster ignores her plea, smashes through the window, and flies off into the night with Darry in its grasp. Trish runs outside, screaming into the darkness, just as Jezelle had predicted. In the end, Trish is the one who survives the terrifying ordeal. The next morning, her parents arrive to take her home. In the film's final scene, we see the Creeper's new hideout, and the horrific truth: Darry has been brutally killed, his body torn apart. As the camera pulls back, the monster climbs into its rusty truck and drives off toward the setting sun, and the story ends.